I single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to
unlicensed
therapy with Ari Manis.
You just got back from Skankfest.
Just got back from Skankfest.
And you had a great time.
I did.
Was it as good as what festival did we do together? The Big Pine Comedy Festival. Was it as good as that one?
It was even better.
Better than Big Pine?
Yes.
All right. If you say so, I'll take your word for it.
Well, I do say so.
What was better about it specifically?
There were more people there, and we had like a hotel room. We weren't staying in. Do you remember the housing we had at Big Pine?
Oh yeah, a lot of people had shared bedrooms and stuff.
Not just shared bedrooms. It was like hostel. There was like eight beds in like a room, like 8 like bunk beds. There was like 4 bunk beds.
And that, sadly enough, is more than a lot of festivals provide too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of festivals where you pay money to submit, you get in, then you have to pay for your flight and hotel and everything.
Yeah.
So you basically spend $1,000 to go do a couple of shows.
Yeah. Which is...
would you still do that at this point in your life?
I'd do it. Yeah, I'd pay $10,000
to do Big Pine.
I'd pay $10,000 to do Big Pine.
Did you try to do Big Pine this year? Are you doing Big Pine this year?
I've sent $10,000. They haven't gotten back to me.
Wow, they just took your money and ran.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you did Skankfest, did you go solo? Did you do with Jeremiah? Did you do stand-up? Did you do music? What did you do?
I played a couple of songs before Kill Tony, and it's hard to turn because it's my mouth is going.
Yeah,
off
it's not the most natural interview setup.
Well, it's only if only I could rotate this thing.
You can't.
You can't, right? Okay, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on it.
Okay.
This place is a work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm actually moving locations because this is about as hot as I think we could be able to bear. But it's only going to get hotter.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and there's no air
just
conditioning.
The energy in here, the chemistry. Me, you, Marco.
Yeah, there's 3 men in here, 3 hot men.
3 hot men with
there's lights.
With very small ball sacks.
Mine's actually large. I have a varicose vein on my left testicle, which makes it a little bigger and saggier.
That's gross.
I mean, you wouldn't. Only I know because I've felt them. You can't even see it.
Yeah, I don't even find it that gross. But I'm just speaking as if I'm a listener or something.
I apologize to all listeners that were grossed out by that, but I want you guys to know the real information about myself. And if I'm being real, I have a varicose vein on my left testicle. There, I said it. Yeah. What about you? Any varicose veins?
I'm not exactly sure what a varicose vein is.
You don't know what a varicose vein is? Have you ever seen kind of like an older man that has a vein going down the back of his leg?
Yes.
A big vein?
Yeah.
That's
like
a varicose vein.
Back of their legs.
You know what I'm talking about? That big vein on an older man's calf muscle?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm not a retard.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, that's a varicose vein.
Sorry for saying the word retard.
And you could get varicose veins. It's most common in the leg, but you can get them anywhere. And they're not always in old men. So my dad, for example, I got it from my dad. He had one in his leg, his hand. Those are the only ones I know about that he had.
He didn't have one on the...
I don't think he had one on the testicle. But he got his removed. You can get surgery.
Yeah.
And mine, I think, is on my left testicle.
Yeah.
At first, when I discovered it, I thought I might have testicular cancer. Because I was like, what is this thing right here? And I always felt it, and I was kind of too shy and scared to tell people because it's just kind of embarrassing that a thing's on your nutsack.
Yeah.
But, enough time passed, and I was like, I need to tell someone about this.
Yeah.
Like, what if it is cancer?
I need to tell someone
that
I have a varicose vein.
Yeah.
Coursing.
Well, I didn't know it was a varicose vein. I thought it could have been testicular cancer.
Up my scrotum.
Yeah, I thought I had scrotum cancer. So one day, I don't remember how old I was, but I was young, and I built up the courage, and I told my parents, hey, I think I need to go see a doctor. There's something on my testicle.
And your parents said?
They said, okay, yeah, let's get you a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
And then, funny enough, they forgot. We never scheduled the doctor's. I still to this day have not seen a doctor for it. But I did enough home research with the internet and stuff, and I found out it's fairly common.
Yeah.
And it's not testicular cancer. It's a varicose vein.
I mean, you dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
You can usually self-diagnose, some things.
Yeah, I think I'd self-diagnose well, and I've never had. You may be thinking out of there, that's gross. You can't see it. You could only feel it with your hands. I've never had a single female address it. I mean, maybe they're just being nice, but I don't think they noticed. So I've gotten lucky. How's everything else? Last time we really hung out was probably Big Pine. And we've seen each other since, but that was like the last time we really bonded. And you had a live-in girlfriend at that time.
Uh-huh.
I know you're not with the same girl. Do you have a different girlfriend now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you love her?
Yeah.
How long have you been going out for?
I met her at Big Pine.
Is that same girl?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But she wasn't, she is a comedian or she's not?
She's not a comedian.
She was an audience member.
No, she was an audience member, yeah.
And she lived there and now she lives in LA with you.
Mm-hmm.
To this day.
To this day.
So in a way, Big Pine was better than Skankfest. When you really think about it.
Yeah.
You didn't find love at Skankfest.
No.
Maybe Big Pine was worse for comedy, but it was better for love. Flagstaff is a magical city.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. So how long you been together then?
I guess it's been official for like a little over a year, like
wow.
a year, a couple months.
Do you see yourself spend the rest of your life with her?
I do. Yeah, it's hard for guys to answer that question. Yeah. Have you ever felt that?
Yeah, I've had that feeling before.
And then you're not together anymore.
It
right?
didn't work out. But at the time, if you had asked me in the moment of being with that person, I'd say, yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes, right?
What?
Like most relationships don't work out, but in the peak of them, you go, oh yeah, this is going to work out great. This is kind of a downer. I'm talking about your relationship. Like I'm telling you, your relationship's not going to work out. I'm just saying, statistically speaking, your relationship probably isn't going to work out. But I hope it does.
Sort of
Is that a soft
dagger
spot?
through the heart.
Yeah. Is that a soft? Is this the first time you ever thought about that?
Well, it's just sort of a dagger through the heart.
I didn't mean.
It's all right.
I didn't mean to make it.
Some people like stabbing people's
I didn't mean
hearts.
to.
Me, I like.
I didn't mean to
people
say it like
feel
that.
Good. I like.
Yeah, you have this new positive mantra.
Yeah, I have a new positive mantra.
Tell me about your new positive mantra.
Well, I already told you about it.
Yeah, but that was off the air.
But it was still. I already told you about it, so it can't be as.
I
good
forgot
now
it
that
though.
I can't be as good.
I forgot what it was.
It again. It's almost superfluous to say it again.
I legitimately can't remember exactly what it was.
Said it again.
Yeah, but I legitimately can't even remember it.
Well, okay, fine. It was fuck. It was don't be a douchebag.
Okay, I like that.
Which I have to remind myself every 5 seconds. Just be like, are you acting like a douchebag? And then just be like, okay.
Do you find your natural instinct is to go to being a douchebag?
I think that comes from fear,
Yeah.
Don't be a douchebag. You don't have to impress them. They have to impress you.
I like that too.
And that's my girlfriend's.
Okay, so one of the three
mantra.
you got from your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then the other one is you can't fuck it up. This applies to being creative. This applies to social situations. It's a combatant against fear. If you think, well, I can't fuck this up, then you can't fuck it up. Even if you can fuck it up, if you're at least approaching it as you can't fuck it up, then it eliminates some of the fear, and you can actually perhaps relax.
Right.
Even if you cannot turn your brain off.
I love it. I mean, I think the first two especially are great. The third one, I think, is positive and a good thing to tell yourself, even though you definitely could fuck things up still.
Well, I guess the third one originated, I moved it into social situations because it started as a creative mantra.
It started before going on stage.
No. It started before, like, if I'm recording a take, if I'm playing music,
Okay.
if I have a song that I'm recording, and you go in, I've started putting a lot of the past few years have done a number on my psyche. So I used to just not question myself, I started questioning myself. So I'd get on the mics and I'd hear myself in the headphones, and I'd start playing, and I'd stop being me. I'd stop making choices, and it felt like every choice that I made, like singing, like if I was going to be like, on the first day of May, I was broken a man as any man could ever be. It'd been 3 days since she and I had spoken. I think she hates me, or that's how it seems. It felt like every decision I made was the wrong one. So I got in my head.
Just overanalyzing.
So the theory of you can't fuck it up is it didn't exist before. You're
'Cause you
making
didn't need
something.
it.
You're making something. You're making something that didn't literally exist. So just the fact that you're making it, you can't fuck it up. What's the worst that could happen? You're editing something. It's bad.
Yeah. Big deal.
Big deal. It didn't exist. At least you're making it.
What do you think caused your brain to start thinking that way? To start getting kind of over-analyzing and negative? Is it success? Is it...
Yeah, it's huge.
You know what I mean? I mean, you've had little successes.
Success.
Was it little successes? Was it... What do you think caused it?
I would say a lot of it would be... I can't attribute it just to the Comedy Store. I can attribute it to just... comedy, pursuing comedy.
So other people watching.
I can attribute it to just not other people. It's myself. It's my own problem.
But it was where the fear was, is someone else going to listen to this and not like it? Was that it?
Of the fear of while I'm singing?
You said as you're recording originally, you would start to overanalyze things and be like, question your decisions while you're playing.
While I'm playing, be like, don't do, like it just doesn't sound right. Where before everything when I was.
But I'm wondering if you know what caused
singing,
yourself to start
getting older.
Just getting older.
Okay, so life becomes more complicated the older you get. Me personally, I think more. I like there's more going on in my brain.
Yeah.
So ignorance is bliss. You're too dumb to even worry about the fact that you only have this much time to record this, or it's not sounding right. You just go and do it.
Yeah.
And and then also just wanting it to sound a certain way. Like that's why a lot of musicians, and I think comedians have trouble remaining funny with their like specials. You know.
Yeah.
The specials
absolutely.
drop off. And musicians, with albums, you get older and you start to like Bob Dylan would record, and as he moved through the decades, you realize that you can write a song and then you can record it a million different ways. You can make the tempo go fast. On the first day of May, I was broken a man as any man could ever be. Or you could be like, on the first day of May, I was broken.
Right. There's so many decisions. You're questioning everything.
And then especially what happens if you're when you just get older, you have more resources, you have less time, you have more things going on in your life, aka relationships, aka a job, aka family, aka all that stuff. And so if you're like, okay, so I want to record this song, I could put violin on it. I could put keyboards on it. I could try keyboards on it. I could get somebody else to play keyboards on it. I could have my friends sing vocals on it. I could record it at home. I could record it at this studio. I could record it at this other studio.
I could do it live. There's so many, yeah.
And it just becomes you become less. I became less confident in my choices, and a lot of that was just feeling like the external forces that I was feeling, because the world's gotten. I mean, the world was already scary to me. Is the world scary to you?
Yeah, certain days are scarier than others. Certain things are scarier than others. But yeah, the world's a scary place for sure. You have to deal with judgment. You have to deal with self-judgment. You have to deal with change and new situations. Those are all scary things. Strangers.
Yeah, not knowing where you stand.
Spiders.
Not knowing. Biters?
Spiders.
I thought you said biters.
Biters, too? That's scary.
Yeah.
Someone could walk in here at any moment. Like, Marco could bite us.
Well, I was thinking more biters like in the hip-hop style, like biting my style.
Oh, do you have that fear that someone might rip off some
No.
things? of yours? That's
People-
actually one of my not something I really think about.
Same here, but I've been told like, oh, you got to protect your melody. Somebody's gonna steal your melodies because they're so catchy. You got like, yeah, but it's like that's irrelevant, you know. Just
I feel like when that problem happens, I'll worry about it.
yeah,
But that's not really
it's not a
something.
real problem yet.
And even if it was, it's almost a good problem.
Yeah.
I think if someone was literally stealing my jokes, wasn't parallel thought, I'm like, oh, that guy's doing my act. I'd be like, that's kind of flattering.
Yeah.
He needs to stop, but
Yeah,
it's flattering. It'd be nice.
I mean, I think it's so funny. I think that all the drama with joke stealing and all that stuff. I don't know. It's almost like we have nothing better to do. So.
Right. It's like 90% of the time, no one's trying to steal from each other most of the time.
Yeah.
Like maybe Carlos Mencia was. There's exceptions.
And even still, how big of a moral issue is it?
I think if someone actually is purposefully stealing someone else's jokes, I mean, it's not on the top of the list of moral problems that the world needs to conquer.
Yeah. It's
but
wrong.
it is
You think it's
morally wrong.
You think
Yeah.
it's wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've always, because it conflicts with the maxim, and I love maxims because they're all true.
What's maxim?
A maxim is like a saying, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You know,
Okay.
like you can teach your kids whatever you want to do, but they're gonna do their own thing. You know, so the maxim is good artists borrow, great artists steal. And time again, I mean, if you look at Bob Dylan, he literally would write his own lyrics to folk songs that other people were playing in the clubs. So it's just some guy like Ramblin' Jack Elliott. He'd see like playing a song, and then
steal the melody.
Yeah, he'd steal the melody, write his own words, and play it his way, and it would be 1,000 times better.
That makes me like him so much less, knowing he did that.
I mean, but if you look at art in general, you know, I mean, if you look at the world of art, that's.
I think there's a difference between someone who's influenced by something and someone who steals something.
That's the tradition of music. That's the tradition of folk music. You know, if you like hip hop's built on samples. You know, you're taking other people's art, something else that they've made, and you are literally stealing it. And then you are putting it in your own song, and you're making your own song using other people's art.
It's more accepted in that field because that's what people do.
But this is folk songs. So
Right.
so what about Ramblin' Jack Elliott? He wasn't playing originals. He was playing covers. So the guy that Bob Dylan was stealing from was actually doing his own version of a song that may have been around for 100 years before that.
Well, let me ask you this. Was Rambling Jack Elliott, is that his name?
Yeah.
Was he, during that time when Bob Dylan was a huge sensation,
Yeah.
was Rambling Jack Elliott going around saying, he's stealing my melodies? Not
really.
Cool. He didn't care.
Not really.
If he didn't care, then I don't think it's bad.
But if you look at the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, I mean, if you look at music as by and large, you know, it's sort of like it calls into question. I mean, you know, stealing somebody's jokes, it's like that calls into question. I saw Gilbert Gottfried this weekend at Skankfest, and I saw him. He did a joke that I had heard the great super Dave Osborne, Bob Einstein, do, and I'd seen a YouTube clip, and I watched both YouTube clips of Gilbert Gottfried and Bob Einstein telling the same joke. Now, were they stealing from each other? Did they write that joke? Is it there's the exact
I
same
wish
joke.
I could find out.
Yeah, the joke is if you want to look it up, it's about a. Okay, it's like a kid. A kid walks in on his parents. He hears noises coming from his parents' bedroom. He walks in, and they're having sex, and the dad is wearing a cowboy hat and chaps, and the mom's in a cheerleading outfit, and the kid's horrified. So then later that evening, the dad walks down the hall, and he hears noises coming from his son's room, and he walks in, and the kid is banging his grandma. And and the kid looks at the dad and he says, "Not so funny when it's your mother, is it?"
See, that to me, I bet you neither of them wrote that joke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who wrote any of these premises in comedy? It's like, dude, I hear the same joke. How many times have I heard the joke? I'm trying to think of like a standard joke.
Here's one. I told my dad I wanted to be an actor. He said it's pronounced doctor. I've heard like every
Iteration.
Asian or Indian comic do an iteration of that joke.
Yeah.
But I think it still comes down to intent, though. If a comedian is on stage telling a joke and they know that they ripped that joke off.
So another maxim would be let he without sin cast the first stone. Judge not, lest ye be judged. So you're judging someone else's intent. So there's really only one person who knows the intent. You know, Carlos Mencia. There's only one guy who knows the intent. And I'm not saying malicious behavior isn't rampant.
Yeah, but the difference is he had however many comedians coming out saying he knowingly ripped off my bit. It's not like, you pick another comedian. Let's just pick Dane Cook, for example. He's been accused of taking a joke maybe like once or twice. So it's not like a common thing. Not everyone's running around going, Dane Cook's stealing my jokes.
Yes.
But Carlos Mencia, everyone was saying, he took my joke, So you could kind of gather, I don't know, there's a difference, big difference to me.
You're right.
Yeah.
Also, so here's my other thing is when people are arguing, is that both people are right. So you're
always.
There's got to be a wrong.
Both people have Both people
are right. They're just stating their opinions, and those opinions are in conflict with each other.
Right.
So like you're right. Also, I still believe that good artists borrow, great artists steal.
Yeah. That's fine. I guess we can agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree, but I'm not even disagreeing with you. You're right. There's something wrong with that pattern of behavior. But again, let's judge not, lest ye be judged.
And Carlos Mencia was a great artist. What can I say? He was a great artist.
And there you go. One of the greats. Because
I don't think he'll go down as one of the greats because of the whole stealing thing.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, yeah.
You know I'm being sarcastic when I said that?
I'm bad at
identifying. I was being very sarcastic.
I'm bad at identifying.
Carlos Mencia
is not one of the greats.
Not one of the greats. It goes George Carlin, the Marx Brothers.
I bet
Cat
some
Williams.
people
Cat
would
Williams
say
is one of the greats.
Some people would say Carlos Mencia is one of the greats.
Well, they're not very smart and they have poor taste, but that's my opinion. So I'm right, and then they're also right. You understand? He is one of the greats. To them, he's one of the greats. So we're both right. We're not arguing.
Yeah, I think Jamie Kennedy is one of the greats. That's one that a lot of people would disagree with me on.
Is it because you physically resemble Jamie Kennedy?
You think I do?
I wonder. That's my other theory.
I've never heard that before. No, I don't think that's why I said that. I also think Dice Clay is one of the greats, and a lot of people wouldn't agree with me there.
Oh, my girlfriend and I were having a conversation about Dice Clay today.
Oh, what was your guys's?
Okay, well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to. I already said Carlos Mencia isn't one of the greats. That's enough. Bad.
You don't like Dice?
No, I like Dice.
Oh,
I
your
really
girlfriend
like
doesn't.
Dice. I love Dice's show. Dice
okay, so
on
you
Showtime.
like it. Your girlfriend does not like Dice.
The Day the Laughter Died is like horrible to listen to, but it's
funny.
It's compelling. It's got an element that a lot of comedy doesn't have, because a lot of comedy is just sort of like hemming and hawing. It's not, people aren't really saying anything, and even regardless of if you agree with what he's saying, he's a character.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. To me, it's satirical. So when I see him up on stage calling a girl a pig, for example,
yes,
a lot of people today would go, he's dated, he's not funny. But to me, he's making fun of someone who would say that.
Okay, you're right. And also, I have found in being around comedians for the better part of 10 years that they're not so much doing an act, and they're not so much telling jokes. They're pretty much saying what they think.
All of them?
I think there's that element is there. I think there's so Louis C.K.'s joke. When I think about sometimes I think about comedians and who has memorable material, because I'm interested in that. That to me makes someone a good comedian.
Yeah, when you leave repeating a joke, when you want to hear that same joke again.
Yeah, like George Carlin would open his special with saying, "You ever notice how all the what is it? Fuck, I can't remember it. What do you say? Was it like, you ever notice how all the people who are anti-abortion are people you would never want to fuck in the first place? I don't know if it's the I don't know if I got the topic right, but like, okay, so like Louis C.K. to me, I remember one joke that Louis C.K. has ever done, and it is how long did it between after 9/11? How long did it take you to jack off? And Louis C.K. said between for me it was between Tower 1 and Tower 2. And that is the joke that's stuck with me. Now, if I think about if I think about Mitch Hedberg or a lot of I don't know, Woody Allen, like guys that I like because I'm more of a literary type, they have quotable lines. So that's the one Louis C.K. joke that strikes me as memorable. And interestingly enough, what is his problem? It's jacking off. So he's actually telling you a lot more about himself than you would ever think. You would think, he's joking. But, so Dice, I think, the amount to which he's joking is very debatable.
I could agree with that. It's debatable.
Was Brody doing a bit?
Which bit?
Not just in life. You'd be like, this guy's joking around on stage when he's yelling at people
not me.
for leaving.
I knew him more
Exactly.
more than that. He was not.
He was not doing a bit.
But I think
ironic racism. Told by like in an ironic tone, told by a stand-up. Is it, there's real racism there.
I think that's debatable. I think it depends on who and depends on the joke.
But there's somewhere there is real. It's real. Somewhere, let he without sin cast the first stone.
The reason why I'm arguing with you on this is because
if I'm biblical, as if I'm a good guy.
No, the reason I'm arguing with you on this is because I have a lot of jokes that are very satirical.
So it hits a home. It hits close.
It hits close.
I'm not attacking you.
No, I know you're not. But I have, for example, a very sexist joke where I say my sexist joke is I like to cook dinner for women. Some people think that women belong in the kitchen, that they should be cooking dinner for us. I don't agree. I don't believe that. I think women are worse at everything. I don't want them to fuck dinner up too.
Okay.
Funny joke, right?
Yes.
Does well.
Yes.
I don't think women are worse at everything.
That's it's a joke. So where's I guess that's the thing that's what I'm talking about. As you get older, life becomes more complicated.
I think women are worse at most things.
Okay, well you're
but not
continuing
everything.
The joke. But so like I have I have all these jokes that like and I'm like, how much, I don't know. I have a joke that goes, I always considered my dad a winner, and maybe it's because he beat my mom.
Did he?
No.
See?
Not to my knowledge.
See, there you go. You just contradicted your own theory.
Well, you're right.
All right. Hell yeah. 1-1. We're 1-1 on fights. On disagreements, I'd say.
That was a fight.
Arguments.
Verbal
argument. Have you ever, when was the last physical fight you've been in?
I got punched in the face when I was 16.
Your last fight was at age 16?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
When was yours?
I've already told this story on the podcast, but it was like a month ago. But my last fight before that was when I was 16.
It was a month ago?
Yeah, a month ago before that, 16.
It
was from doing a joke.
Really?
Yeah.
A guy.
It was in New York City. A girl got offended. I cussed her out from stage. Then a guy came up. Her husband came up to me after the show and poured wine over my head.
Okay. And then what?
And so I had to fight him because...
Did you, throw a punch at him?
Yeah, I threw a punch and choked him because when he poured wine over my head, I kind of lost it. And also I had the thought, I have to hit this guy. He poured wine over my head.
Right. Sometimes you behave because you think that's the way you're supposed to react. That's my brain. My brain goes, this is how you're supposed to react like this, even if it's organic or not. So I end up faking myself.
This,
through
I
life.
think, was real, but it was also, the thought did cross in my head I have to hit him.
Yeah.
He's making me. I don't want to hit this guy, but if you pour man over another man, if you pour wine over another man's head.
Yeah. Which is not legal in Georgia.
Is that true?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, it might not be. I think it could be considered assault. Do you have any issues in your life that you would like help with that I could fix? Because Since since Big Pine, 2016 or whatever year that was, I've actually become an expert in everything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and I could help you
Okay.
with any issues you have in your life. If you have anything going on.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have issues. I have issues that are perhaps too much to talk about, and there's too much to talk about,
Pick one that we could talk about.
What's an issue that I have that we can talk about?
Yeah, what's something you want to improve in your life?
Well, I mean, really, if we're being serious, I don't
Yeah.
really like the world, and I don't really like being alive, and I don't really.
Are you suicidal?
I don't know what to do. It's like I'm not really a fan of this whole life thing. There's just too much going on.
Now, is this all the time, or are there moments where you're like, I'm feeling good, and then
There's moments, but it's always in the back of my head. It's always like I don't know. It's sort of an everything is meaningless, life is meaningless type thing.
so maybe you need more of a purpose.
I mean, yeah, that, but so my, yeah, the problem is what's the purpose if it's not bringing another human into the world or raising a kid? Maybe it's adopting. But
Would you ever do that?
I guess I would adopt. I don't know about having a kid. I would like to, but at the same time, I'm so ambivalent about this world and the heat and the
when you say heat, do you mean global warming?
I mean global warming,
Yeah.
and just the feeling of
So you do believe in global
world.
warming?
yes, I believe in
You're
global warming.
You're not a global warming denier.
I'm not a global warming denier.
I
can
know a
feel
few.
it.
Do you know any? Well, are there any global
I
warming
probably
deniers
do, but
in
I
your
don't, we
life?
don't talk.
Not that you know of?
Not that I know of.
They're out there, dude. They're still there. I met two this weekend. Didn't even know. And then it came up. I told them that I stopped eating red meat.
Yeah.
I still eat a little red meat, but I tried not to because of the Leonardo DiCaprio documentary. And they're like, oh, that's bullshit, dude. You could eat meat. I'm like, no. Like, have you watched it? And they're like, I don't need to. It's bullshit. That's what they said. It made me feel bad.
Well, they're right and you're right. The Leonardo DiCaprio documentary is very likely, full of horseshit.
You think?
I don't. Maybe not the science behind it, but just the Leonardo DiCaprio telling me how to live in regards to
he's
one
just the
specific
narrator.
cherry-picked aspect.
He's
of
the
life.
narrator of it.
Because that's the other thing. The world is so complicated that you can literally cherry-pick things. So everything you choose to do is like cherry-picking. I'm going to do this. I'm going to care about this. I'm going to live my life in this specific way, whilst turning a blind eye to trillions of other things.
Right. There's a yin and the yang to everything.
There's a yin and a yang to everything.
Here's what I think you should do to give yourself a little purpose to make yourself feel better about life. I don't think you're actually going to do it.
Yes.
But here's what I think you should do.
Okay.
I think 1 day a week,
Yes.
you should force yourself to do a community service
That's
of some sort.
my
Help the
mom's always
homeless.
said that.
You're not going to like it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to enjoy it.
No, doing something for other people.
But if you do something for someone who's in a real bad place, whether they're homeless, whether they're disabled, whatever it is, if you help these people for 1 day, and I think it'll make the rest of your days feel a lot better.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have you ever taken yourself up on your advice?
Well, I have done community service before, for sure. Some of it mandatory, some of it not mandatory. But I don't have the same issue as you. I don't hate the world.
It's not so much that I hate the world. The world feels like a game with too many options. You're like you're like selecting your player and selecting your equipment and building your thing and going up and saying hi, choosing the hi, how are you? What's up? Like whatever speech bubble you want to choose at any point.
Want to do community service together?
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Would you actually do it?
I'd do it. Yeah. Yeah. I'd do it one time.
One time. Okay.
Yeah.
So we
that
have
can
to
commit
find
to one time.
And I'm not talking about like serving turkey at the Laugh Factory. We gotta do like a real.
What are the options? What can we do?
We could. I don't know. Do you want to start small or go big? To me, like starting small would be like we could go pick up trash at the beach. That would be like a small community service that would
I'd
be better.
do that, yeah.
Or we could go big. We can go to a homeless shelter and do something there. We could go to a crack den and help them out.
Do what at the crack den?
I met one guy who people, like family members, would get him to go get their loved ones and rescue them from crack. Like check them into rehab and stuff.
Yeah, I don't feel. I see now. That's something where I feel like my intervention is dangerous. My intervention could cause more ripples. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. I'm unqualified, unlicensed for that sort of.
Got it. See, I am too, but I would still like to do it.
I think picking up trash at the beach sounds nice.
Okay, so you want to do the trash
Can't
pickup?
hurt anything there, you know. Also, I have a problem. One of my issues about being alive is you come into contact with so many people, and you have an effect on. I have an effect on other people's lives that I come into contact with, and it's a lot of pressure. And I would rather not. I would rather almost be a ghost.
You could probably do that if you wanted to. You could just
Drop out of society, or
yeah, you could kind of just stay in your apartment a lot more. Break up with your girlfriend. Don't talk to any of your friends. Kind of just leave to eat. Keep to yourself. Wear sunglasses and a hat. Just have the least amount of interaction you possibly can. You'd basically be a ghost at that point.
yeah. It's still. You know, I'm already in too deep with my family. I'm in too deep with my friends. In too deep with my girlfriend.
Yeah, but you get a clean break from them all. They'd get over it after a little bit, and then you could be a ghost from then on out.
That doesn't sound like an answer to me. That doesn't sound like that doesn't sound like
I don't
a
think you
solution.
should do this. No, I don't
Sounds
think
like
that.
a miserable lifestyle.
No, yeah, this is a bad idea. But I'm just saying you could if that's really what you want. If you really wanted to live like a ghost, you could.
I don't. But do you see my
Yeah.
do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
about,
that you're analyzing your effect on others when you interact with them.
Yeah, it's like you may whatever your intentions are, whatever you may think you're doing good. You may think you're talking, you're just like starting a conversation with somebody. You may think you're getting in, I don't know, inviting somebody to do something or getting involved with someone's life, and it's like the fear part of me thinks that it's like maybe they'd be better off without me.
Maybe you should go to your third mantra.
You can't fuck it up.
You can't fuck it up. Maybe that's what that needs.
You know, it's true.
But I get what you're saying.
Because that's also true. You can't. Yeah, sorry.
Well, what I was just gonna say, I went and saw Imagine Dragon in concert a year ago.
Dragons, plural.
Imagine Dragons. I apologize to them, and their lead singer.
They were fire.
They did great. They're musically, but they kept interrupting their songs to talk about mental health, and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
That's all I was gonna say.
Because it's about them living their avatar, saying what they think people want to hear. It could be something that's a deeply concerning issue for them.
It might be, but I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So it made me think like.
But everything I've said today is like in the same vein. It's like I'm talking from the mountaintop with some sort of unearned wisdom, or like passing, like, you know, it's equally arrogant. There's no.
Yeah,
no
but these are just issues that you think about. It's not issues, and people could shut this off. It's not in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
People could shut this off. This was in front of thousands of people. We'd have to leave the venue that we paid for. So
Yeah.
it felt different. Felt like he forced me to listen to his speech on mental health, and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Well, that's how I felt doing music at comedy venues for years, and I think that led me to feel uncertain about myself, as I felt like I was forcing everyone to watch and listen to something, sit there and listen like hostages to something they didn't want to.
Now, did you feel that way even if you had a good set, or did you only feel that way if you had a bad set?
It's I guess it's more like the scenario. If I went, I didn't do that many shows where I was like in the middle of a stand-up show where it's like where you go up and then I go up. and we're in the middle of a showcase show with everybody doing 10 minutes, it's like if everybody's doing 10 minutes, I didn't feel that bad. But if I'm just doing like my scenario of performing, I did a lot, which was
Going up cold in the beginning.
Going up cold, yeah, performing before 2 other shows, Roast Battle and Kill Tony, and I'm not part of the. It's like, oh, now we got to sit and watch this,
Right.
and it makes you feel like you're like, it made me feel like I'm forcing.
Dude, that cold
myself.
open spot, that's hard always. Even if you're on the show, going up first on a show, oh, it's always a little rough because people aren't ready.
Yeah, and then if you do it and they're expecting, and they're just like, why? What do you want? What do you want me to do?
Is that why you
are
stopped
singing at
doing
me?
those shows? Is that why you stopped doing those cold open spots?
Yeah, kind of. It just felt like it's just unwanted and like holding the audience hostage. And I know that my art is better than that, and so it's underserved by
Going up.
giving
Right,
myself this mind fuck and playing it in a perhaps inappropriate setting.
I think you're right. I think it comes to a point in every young comedian's career where they go, hey, I'm not hosting anymore. Not everyone, but almost everyone's career. For me, in 2019, I stopped. I'll host if a comedy club booker asks me to, but if any other show says, will you host a show, I say, I'd rather do a spot.
Or if it's Ari's apartment show.
Or if it's that's true. Or if it's Ari's apartment show, my show, I'll host. But every other show, they go, hey, would you mind hosting? And I goes, yeah, I don't really want to host.
So this is another thing that became more complicated. Being a comedian, I don't even consider myself a comedian. So I'm like, I don't. It's like there's stand up. Sometimes I do stand up, but I'm not really doing it. So I'm like, I'm trying to approach it to be like, okay, I'm not a comedian. I'm not a musician. I'm not an actor. Definitely, I'm not a writer. I'm just me. Or like, as opposed to being I'm all of these things, just be like, I'm just me. And so because I'm me, and because it's not in one box, I'm trying to figure out where I can go and how I can where I can fit. And I've had the past few years of experience of feeling like I didn't fit, even if it's in my head, at least enough to like be like, well, I gotta be myself. But then at the same time, I lose energy because I'm like, who fucking cares? Life is meaningless. I've already written. Like, I used to think when I was writing songs, probably like 5 years ago, I'd be writing songs and I'd be like, why am I writing this? I'm never gonna record it. It's never going anywhere. And I'd probably a good song.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, I don't need. I've got, because I have a lot of songs already. I have like a lot of songs. Yeah. Regan and Watkins alone has like 45 songs.
Right.
Okay. And then my solo songs, I have a lot of songs.
But that's,
So
I
what's
think,
the
probably
point?
what makes you that's probably what makes you good.
And scripts. Can we talk about scripts? I went to school at USC for screenwriting.
Oh, I struggle with that with scripts. I'll
have-
start writing scripts and I'll be like, this is garbage, and I don't finish it.
Well, I've written 5 features. I've written, probably 10 pilots. I've written multiple specs. Always Sunny. I wrote a Always Sunny spec called The
Hey,
Gang
you
Gets
finish
AIDS.
them. The game gets AIDS.
The Gang Gets AIDS.
That's funny.
I wrote an Office
Well,
spec.
props to you for
I wrote
finishing
a
that.
Dexter spec back in college about Dexter killed the guy he murdered was his like victim of the episode was a guy who is mentally retarded, which is someone I had in my life. I knew like a mentally retarded guy, and I was like, what if he was a bad guy? So Dexter struggles with the ethics of, does this man who I
Sounds
have
like
to
a good
kill,
episode.
is it moral? Does he know what he's doing? And yeah, my teacher used it as the class example as for the outline. But then I, as a lazy piece of shit, I had my girlfriend at the time write the 60-page script because I was finished. because
you wrote the treatment of it.
I wrote the treatment of it, and I had probably 3 days to write about 100 pages for another script that I was way behind on. So I wrote that other script, not doing it service, not giving
What a
it
nice
justice.
girlfriend to write that for you, though.
Oh yeah. So that's all. Women, Ari, do you believe that women are the angels of the earth?
I think if this is a serious question,
This is a serious question.
I think with both men and women, there are very good men and very good women, and there are very bad men, there are very bad women. So I think the angels of the earth could be any gender.
I guess I haven't had experience with very bad women. Maybe because I always make myself the bad. I always feel like the bad guy.
Oh, they're out there.
So I feel that women are the angels of the earth.
That's very sweet. But no, there's definitely some terrible, terrible women who will rip your heart out of your chest and stomp it on the ground and eat it like Skittles. And then spit it out. And then vomit the Skittle version of your heart. And then it's just lying there all chewed up on the sidewalk outside. And that's just your heart. And then you try and scoop it back up and put it back in your body. But it's still missing something.
It's coagulated and it's lost its colors, its bright colors.
Yeah.
The Skittles.
Yeah. Let's take some calls. Forget what we were talking about now right before that. Oh, you're all the scripts you wrote. That sounds like a good episode of Dexter. I want to watch that now.
Yeah.
You should rewrite that episode, but not as Dexter, just as a different serial killer television show type.
Yeah.
Because it sounds good.
Thank you.
Or someone out there listening should. And send it in to us. An angel out there should write it. Ghost write it. Okay.
My angel made me pancakes today.
Wow. Over a year into the relationship, and she's making you pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome. Let me hook up to this reader here. Were they good?
They're delicious. She's an amazing cook.
My next apartment show, July 10th. I don't know if this episode will be out in time, but it's going to be called Ari's Pancake Powwow. And I'm planning on getting microwaved pancakes and giving them to the whole audience.
That's great. That's brilliant. If I may,
yes,
that is it's very bachelor. There's a lot of bachelor stylings of your
apartment show?
life. No, your
my whole life.
style, I guess. We'll get microwave pancakes. Like a girl would be like, there's going to be a yellow theme color to this, and you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And
I had a girl say she would come and cook pancakes for everyone.
Yeah.
And I said yes, but I'm gonna get the microwaves as backup because to you, all women are angels. To me, this angel woman who offered to cook pancakes, who I do love, is probably gonna bail in my head. So realistically, I think it'll be microwavable pancakes.
Well, we'll just have to find out on Ari's Pancake Powwow. What's the date for that, Ari?
July 10th, 2019. I'll have my shotgun there. Diamond the Snake will be there, and Diamond the Scorpion will be there as well.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you like shotguns in the same room as your watching comedy,
There'll be knives velcroed to the bottom of every surface in my apartment.
there's
for
no.
that show.
That's a false. That's false.
We'll see.
I believe it's false.
We'll see. This call is from Christine Zappa.
Any relation to Frank?
Not that I know of.
Christine
Zappa.
Oh, here we go.
Hi, I'm just calling in. I just have a couple questions. Currently, I am divorced, and I was just curious what I can do to get back out there. I was married for 7 years, and I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to approach a guy that I might be interested in, or if we just do small talk. I'm just a little curious about that because I am getting pretty lonely, and I'm just curious as to how I would go about approaching a guy that I'm interested in.
I think she hit it on the nail personally. I think, you start with small talk.
Yeah.
That's how you can't really skip small talk. Can you?
I don't know. It's hard to meet people, you know?
It's hard, it's scary, but especially as a girl, if a girl walks up to a random guy and does small talk, even if that guy's not interested, they're going to be nice to you.
That's true.
I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
For the most part. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. But if any girl walks up to me and makes small talk, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
How's your day?
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Cool.
How's your day?
Yeah. My day is good. I have a shotgun and a snake named Diamond, and I have knives velcroed to every surface of my home. How's your day?
Yeah, exactly. See, it's not that hard. And then you might go in there with small talk, and you're going to find out right away if this guy's normal or not.
Yeah.
He might say that. What if you first time meeting a guy, you say, hey, how's your day? And he starts talking about his knives velcroed to under his surfaces. Probably a weird guy.
That's all right, though.
True. Weird guys are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat's a weird guy.
Yeah.
Who wants to be normal? Not me.
Not me.
Sure as hell not me. I think the normal people are people who are scared to be themselves.
That's the true insanity of the world is like, I think, reacting with that. That's one of my issues with the world is like, oh, so I'm just supposed to play pretend like everything's okay.
Play the game. I've been
game.
having issues with that, with women mostly, but also in life. It's like, yeah, people want you to play the game, to not voice your real opinions if your opinions are a little bit real or confrontational.
Yeah.
If you have
But it's so conflicting. That's because that's true. Because it's like, but at the same time, you know, silence is golden. Sit down and shut up. All that. There's nothing wrong with any of that. That stuff is also nice.
Yeah.
That stuff is also good. But okay, back to Christine. Don't go on Tinder.
You're anti-Tinder?
I'm not anti-Tinder, but you're not going to meet what you're looking for in likely you just need to put yourself in situations that are probably outside your comfort zone, Christine, and be open, and making small talk with the guy is good. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've had this, but sometimes when you pursue someone, if you're like interested, if you have a crush on that guy, for example, the laws of attraction are basically like magnets. So if you come towards the guy, sometimes he may push away. I felt that, you know, when.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you always want what you can't have.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make small talk, but don't come on too strong, because
Yes.
it can push guys away. And I know what you're saying, and I agree with you on both ends of the spectrum. If you're a guy, you don't want to come on to a girl too strong. Same thing. But your thoughts on Tinder, I agree with you and I disagree with you all at the same time. It's like, yeah, your chances of meeting someone you love on Tinder probably are small. But that being said, I have some close friends of mine that have met their wives on Tinder.
Yeah.
It's a numbers. At the end of the day, the chances are whoever you meet isn't going to be the one.
Yeah.
But it is kind of a little bit, in some sense, a numbers game.
Yeah.
And you may meet the right person on
It's
Tinder.
true.
It depends on.
But you will probably have to go through scumbags like me to get. But nothing comes easy in life.
Don't put out on the first date, I'd say. That's the game. I think that's a little bit of the game that we were talking against. But I think
you might be right. I'm trying to think of all the relationships I've gotten into, and I don't think anything that I'm not. Maybe that's. I don't think that's true. But I think for the most part, any relationships I've gotten into, there was not
sex on the first date. I've had one of my 5 girlfriends. We had sex on the first date. It was a good relationship, and part of me thinks, why, if we want to have sex with each other, we're both adults. This is real life. Why not act on those desires? Why play this game of waiting?
Yeah.
But then at the same time,
also I have knives.
It's nice to wait, and I have knives. Yeah. So yeah, those are our thoughts. Let's take one more call. This is from Joseph Castillion.
Hey Doc, I got a question. So my ex and I split a few years ago, and I still have feelings for him. You know, I moved away for work, and we're about 1,700 miles apart. So even if I come visit family in Chicago, we still hang out. We go eat dinner, we go to the movies. I even stay over at his place. It feels like nothing's changed, but we're not together anymore. I sometimes tell him how I feel, and he says he doesn't always feel the same, but yet when he cuddles me and he kisses me, I feel like everything's back to normal, even though we're not together. So, Doc, what's your suggestion? Should I break it up and just stop seeing him altogether, or should I keep pursuing it in hopes that we can get back together? Thanks.
It's tough, because most relationships, there's one person who feels more strongly than the other, and this sounds like one of those situations to me. Does it sound like one of those situations to you, Ari?
It does. I think, unfortunately, you should not be pursuing that man. If you want to keep hooking up with him while you look for something else and you could handle that, sure. But it sounds like he doesn't want to be with you, and he's made it clear. He's literally said it to you. You've asked him. He's being honest. So
maybe it's move on.
Move on. Sounds like you can't handle just hooking up with this guy. And maybe, give women a shot.
I mean,
give him a shot if you haven't already.
I don't know your history.
I don't know your
history.
history.
You haven't already.
I don't know your history, but I am a big proponent of experimentation and trying new things and fulfilling God's desires. So
is God's desire? So that's a joke. I'm assuming saying that God's desires are to have male and female.
God's desires are to have male and female together.
I don't know.
I'm not saying those aren't my. I don't care if you hook up with guys, but I'm just saying, might as well give what God wants to try first.
Maybe he has,
and maybe you haven't, and that's so. In that case, ignore my suggestion, and keep going with guys, but a different guy, not this guy. This guy's not interested.
God loves gay people.
God loves every person.
Yeah,
but God thinks that gay people are making mistakes by being gay.
One version
the Christian
of God.
Yeah, Christianity. Sorry, you're right.
They had a lot of things. They had a lot of views on people on people that
agreed.
We're not, but they still. I don't know.
I'm not. That's why I'm not Christian.
The world's not even that much more progressive. As much it is, but it's sort of like
increments.
Yeah,
it's getting there. But yeah, that's why I'm not a Christian, because I think gay people should be allowed to be together.
I think it's getting there. I mean, with acceptance of homosexuality,
women in the workplace,
in like people our age,
equal pay.
Yeah, it's all it's all good.
When do you think it'll be a thing where guys don't hold doors open for girls?
I like that.
I do too. I like being a gentleman, but the way it's moving, do you think it'll ever be the case where it's not common practice for a guy to pay for the first date? Do you think in our lifetimes, 10 years from now, if you offer to pay for a woman's food, she'll be like, "I'm buying my own food. I'm a grown woman."
I don't know what the future holds.
Guess. Educated guess.
Educated guess.
Do you think in 10 years from now, a girl who's 10 years old right now.
I think in 10 years from now, women are going to be killing men like flies.
I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. They're going to invent some sort of robot to kill men with, like a man-killing robot. Hillary Clinton will probably be behind it.
The man-killing robot will kill some, but, what beats the pleasure of just slicing a man's throat?
Something Hillary Clinton would say. If you ask me.
I don't know anything about Elizabeth Warren. I'm not a politics fan.
I don't even know who that is.
But she's one of the people running. I wish she was
she
was one of the front runners for president.
She's not?
I don't know who the front runners are. It seems like Bernie or Biden. I'm not sure. I don't follow politics. I don't much either. I hate politics.
But you like her. You like her energy that she gives off.
I don't even know what she looks like. I don't know what she stands for, but she seems like to have presidential qualities.
What qualities about her seem that way to you?
She's not Hillary Clinton. She's old.
You don't like Hillary?
No, I don't think Hillary's very, I don't think Hillary's very human.
Right. Yeah, she's a man-killing robot.
But I would vote for Hillary. I did.
Oh, you didn't? I didn't vote, but I'm voting for Trump this election.
Yeah. All right. That's cool.
But what do you like about Elizabeth Warren?
That she's old. She has experience. She seems like presidential. That she's a woman. I don't know. There's just something about she just has a little bit of like authority from my own perception. Like she seems like she seems like the real deal as a politician. I mean, nobody's a real deal. I hate politicians, but she seems legit. You know, like a headlining comedian goes up and does stand up, and you're
She
like,
has
oh,
the confidence.
they do stand up.
Yeah, she has the confidence of a president. You think she could carry herself? Maybe.
Yeah, just for whatever reason, President Elizabeth.
She'll go with her
Warren.
gut. She's not afraid to make decisions in crucial times.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe I'll have to check her out.
Yeah.
I could, I say I'm voting for Trump now, but I still have time to change my mind. I'm open-minded. For me, not that we should get political, because I'm kind of like you. I don't like politics, but the liberal media every day, every time I listen to any news source, any comedic news source or real news source, it's bashing Trump. That's all they do for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they've bashed Trump so much that I'm rooting for him. And maybe that's stupid. Maybe that's really stupid, but that's how I am. I'm a contrarian.
Yeah.
And I naturally rebel against something that's overdone. And that's what they pushed me to do. And I think I'm not alone in that. I think there's a lot of people.
I mean, more power to you. I'm afraid of Trump has a bit of authoritarianism, and the culture. He seems to affect the culture in a negative way. To me, the culture of like people just in a coffee shop, the vibe. Like Trump has affected the vibe in America to in my opinion, sort of a like a weird, numb, alienating like way. But he's not the only force in that. There's social media and phones and just a bunch of.
He's
bunch
definitely
of things with
made
modern
things
lives.
very divisive. I feel like.
Yeah.
He's made things very like, are you in or are you out? Are you this or are you that?
Yeah.
And then he's also, I don't like that. If you go to another country, we're kind of the laughing stock right now because of our president.
Well, I saw today. I was on Alex Morgan, the soccer player, the female soccer player. Her Instagram, and they're selling T-shirts that say USA versus everybody, and they're in Paris wearing these T-shirts, and it's like, what message does that send? USA versus everybody.
But that's not a Trump thing. That coach made that decision probably.
Versus everybody. It's like
that's an America issue or that team issue. I don't know whose issue that is, but that's not a Trump thing.
Why's it got to be versus? I mean,
yeah, I don't
in a
like
sport. It's okay.
I have pride. I have America pride. I like America. I don't think it's the best, but it's definitely up there. But yeah, people who walk around with that blind sense of pride.
We got to be comedians.
Yeah, we got to be comedians. It's great. I'm not complaining. But the people who walk around America's number one and have never been anywhere else, come on, give it a rest.
Give it a rest.
What is that? But there's countries where it's even worse. You ever been to Israel?
No.
To me, Israelis have even more blind pride than America. You go there, they go, Israel's the best at everything.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it isn't.
It's an intense culture.
Yeah.
Like the vibe there is pretty intense. Are you Israeli?
No, but I'm Jewish, so I got a free trip to Israel. Birthright. And the whole time you're there, they're just trying to convince you to move there. And every person you meet goes, oh, have you ever had the pizza here? It's the best pizza in the world.
Yeah. And there's a look in their eyes like they might kill you.
They definitely will if they need to. They have a lot of pride in defending themselves and being okay with attacking to get what's right.
To get what's right.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we got political there at the end. Anything else you want to go over?
I want to invite everyone to check out the Regan and Watkins album. I have a band called Regan and Watkins with Jeremiah Watkins, who you may know from Kill Tony and his podcast Jeremiah Wonders and The Wave at the Roast Battle. And
he's in everything.
We've spent past 4 years working on an act, a musical act, and we have a bunch of, I guess, comedic, funny, catchy songs that have been tested in front of difficult, stand-up crowds over years, and we worked our ass off in making the most professional, highest quality, just best album we were able to make. We gave it our all, and
I think at worst, you're gonna think it's okay. At worst, I think most of you are gonna listen to it and say this is great.
Yeah, I think there's hope.
But I don't think anyone's gonna listen to it and say it's bad.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Fingers crossed. So listen to the Regan and Watkins album, and we're gonna play a song from the album at the end of the podcast. If that's okay with Ari.
Definitely. You could pick the song. Which song are we going to play right now?
Let's play a song called This Fall, which is a sequel to a song that you hear on the album earlier. Also, to anyone listening to the album, there's a storyline. It's like we made it more like a movie. So I encourage anyone who listens to it, I invite anyone who listens to it from beginning to end.
In order. I have one of your first albums that was just on a blank CD.
CDR, yeah.
A CDR, and you gave it to me one night at an open mic, and I had it in my car for years. Now it's gone, but it was in my when I had a 5-disc CD changer in the car, it was one of the 5.
Yeah.
And then when I went down to 1, my car I have now only has 1-disc CD.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was great, and I bet you this is even better.
They're both.
They're both good.
I like them both. They're different, and yeah, I think if you
here's why I don't think you'll at least think it's okay, because they're funny and they're weird. Their music is funny and weird, which I like. But even if you don't like funny or kind of obscure, the melody and Pat's musical ability and singing is very good.
And Jeremiah's singing.
And Jeremiah, excuse me. Yeah. Both Pat and Jeremiah,
and our voices
musical
together,
ability is great.
There's something cool about bands and about music that when you have people doing something together, it can be greater than the sum of its parts.
Right. The harmonies, the voices congregating can sometimes just make such a unique, beautiful sound that you guys need to hear. And like I said, if you think it's funny, I think you're going to think it's great. And even if you don't like their sense of humor, because humor is subjective, not everyone likes everything, you'll still like it just for the music.
Thank you.
And the story. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Ari.
See you later.
I'll see you later. I'll see you later.
Airplanes. Why do whales have blowholes when they've never blown my mind? Why does the wind call me a nerd? It really hurts when Mother Nature calls you a nerd. Why do pictures remind me of you? Pictures of the moon, pictures of the stars, pictures of the desk, pictures of you. Why can't things go back to normal? Back to normal, back to normal. How did things spin out of control? Out of control, out of control. When you sucked Brad's dick, it really broke my heart. When you licked his dick, when you told the school my whole life fell apart. You took a dump on my soul. You blew my friend Brad, and it made me sad. Last summer, you blew my friend Brad. You blew my friend Brad, and it made me mad. You blew him last summer, worst I ever had. My dad's name is also Brad, and that's not rad. Now I hate my dad because his name's Brad. Nothing more to add. My dad is just a fad. Whatever. slip away. I think it started last summer when you gave Brad a BJ. Why did things change? Nothing cool can stay. What happened to my perfect life?
What's wrong with you, son?
Nothing's wrong with me. I'm developing.
Are you having behavioral problems?
I'm not having behavioral problems. You're having behavioral problems.
You need to come out of your room and come eat dinner with your sister and your stepmom.
No! I hate my sister, and I hate my stepmom even more!
You're a spoiled little brat, you know that?
Well, guess what? I came from you, Dad!
I brought you into this world, and I can take you right out of it!
Well, why don't you do it then? Just like fall, you've changed.